last year they had Adam Brook, and of course Adam was the type of player who could go back into his own zone, pick up the puck, and leave with it. And this year they're not blessed with a defensive skater with that type of ability. However, Kirkwood's got Mark Thawley, and Mark Thawley's a very offensive hockey player when he's back there on the blue line. And I just had Mark up with me in the juniors last week, and he probably played the best hockey he's played all year. And if he keeps that, going in that direction, he's going to be tough to stop tonight. He's a big kid, and he's strong. And when he's moving, he's on top of his game.
A lot of new faces for the Kirkwood Pioneers. Last year's Mid-States champions. Of course, Skip Borello returns in net along with soulmate Nick Augusta. But they really are going to key more to a defensive game. That's really one of the strengths that they have. They don't have the explosive scoring they had the last couple of years. But CBC's 9-0 so far. Kirkwood 6-1-1. We'll have a dandy tonight. Here's the opening face-off. 24 is Hisserick. Moran picks it up for CB, and Herwick on the forecheck, and that's Oster, Ron Oster. At the center ice red line, dumps it in. Barella handles it and shovels it to the corner. There's Studi. Bothered there by Caracello. And there's Hisserick at the corner trying to clear the zone. Can't do it, but Thawley back there behind the end line. Thawley controlling for the Pioneers. Mark Thawley tries to use the boards. Can't get it past Caracello. Now he does. Controlled there by CBC. Cross ice to Oster, but it's controlled by Hisserick. At errant pass, skids into the CBC zone, where it's controlled by Brian Moran. Moran up to Oster. Can't control it. Aggressive forechecking there by Thawley as he comes up from his defensive post. Back behind the CB net now is Giannino. Kurt Giannino gets bumped there by Neiman. Now we go cross ice. Controlled by CB. Long shot there as Jost got it off. Back in control by Wayans. Jason Wayans dumps it in, but controlled there by Campbell, member of last year's squad. Jost tries to center it. It's broken up by Borello, who sends it behind the net. CBC with a chance. There's Wyan at the point. A long shot, well wide of the net. Centered in front. Loose puck. And it's broken up as Verde had a chance at it. CB tries to hold the blue line, but they can't. But now they keep it in the zone. Control there by Almquist for Kirkwood. Almquist up on the boards, and Wyan gets bumped there, but back behind his net is Hager. Scott Hager now. It's broken up there by Jackson on the forecheck, but Jackson couldn't find the puck. CBC now far boards, sends it down the ice and over the end line, and there's an icing with 11:49 remaining here in the first period.
Both teams coming out showing this little physical style along the boards there. It's important. Kirkwood, again, they're not passing up the CBC defenseman at the blue line. They're making contact, and that's gonna maybe upset the CBC young defensemen, from being real aggressive and offensive minded when they try to hold the blue line against Kirkwood.
The face off to the left of Toulour. CBC controls, looks to flip through a maze of players, and now breaking a 3-on-1. Chance here in front of the shot. Barella the save. As Foresto ain't it try to complete a good rush with a decent shot there. At a 3-on-1. Puck's loose. No one can pick it up. CB controls in their own end. Dumped in by Hayes. Back on the point now. Puck is back in behind the zone as Rumpf had dumped it in. Play behind the Kirkwood net. Look to center it. Can't find it. There's Rumpf in front with the shot. Barella got a toe on that. And Kirkwood clears the zone. Control there by Moran. Now Hayes tries to send it into the zone on the back end. Here comes Eckert. Eckert in the girl. Shoots one. He scores!
Oh.
Ryan Girl sneaks one. Between the knees of Mike Toulour, and Kirkwood leads 1-0.
Nice shot by Ryan Girl there. He didn't waste any time. Just a nice quick snapshot. And it seemed like Toulour had it played, very well. The puck just seemed to squeeze right through his pads. Ryan Girl's got excellent reach, and he's a big, tall, lanky player. When he gets outside, he's got that extra little bit of room because of the size of his body. He can really hold that puck out. He's tough to defend against.
I think he may have caught Tallur more by surprise than anything else because Tallur had the angle on him.
Yeah, the puck hit him square in the pads. It was a nice, quick shot by Ryan Girl, though.
Girl gets the goal from Neiman and Eckert, and the Pioneers are up 1-0 in this grudge match. Here's Caracello. He can really wheel. He has trouble with a bouncing puck, but now he corrals it, and back comes CBC. There's Oster now, but it's controlled by Foley. Back is Girl, along with Hisserick. Girl controls behind his own net. Ryan Girl now just scored that first goal. Over to Foley, who's the quarterback from the back line for the Pioneers. Girl now controls. Girl near boards, looks to go far side, and he picks up Nichols, and Nichols is bumped down. Aggressive forechecking there by Herwick. And look for Herwick, because he's usually got his nose there somewhere. Here's McCaffrey in his first game back for the Cadets. McCaffrey for Caracello. Caracello now. Controls, looks for Oster, but he can't pick him up. There's Herwick looking over his shoulder. Off the backhand, looking to center, he can't get it by Caracello. Picked and controlled there by Studi. Herwick tries to clear the zone, but he can't. Held in by McCafferty. There's Stawley behind his net. Back to Neiman. Matt Neiman looking for Herwick, but he's run off the boards, but Kirkwood controls. Here's Kirkwood in with a chance. Stawley in front, redirects, and he scores!
Ho, ho.
Ryan Jackson with an outstanding forechecking effort, and Foley really just redirected it, and I think Tallur was napping there. Wasn't very aggressive on the play, Craig.
No, and Mark Thawley came all the way from back in his own zone. The whole play started with a reverse breakout. They had CBC caught on one side of the ice down deep, and Thawley reversed it behind the net. They got the puck out. A little scramble at center ice, and Thawley never stopped. He just came straight from down behind his own net, and he's got a nose for the puck. He just read it and got a stick on it and just tipped it right past Tallur. A good hustle by Mark Thawley.
9:29, Kirkwood up to an early 2-0 lead. Pioneers are flying, and it's not like CBC has had their chances. Kirkwood's just been able to capitalize on theirs so far. Puck behind the CBC net. There's Hager trying to clear it out, but that's broken up. Behind the net now is Verde. Cross ice, looking for Jost, trying to go between three men. You can't do that. Here's Verde now. He gets bumped by Almquist, and here's Stawley. But Wayne gets it and dumps it through. Pirelli has a little trouble with the puck. There's Campbell. Up on the boards there for Almquist, and Almquist in a race now with Hager. Controlled at center. Thawley knocks it down and controls. Mark Thawley tries to go between two CBC players. Barely clears the zone. Controlled by CB. Hayes digging after it, but icing is called as the puck ends up over the end line. Face-off now to the right of Mike Tallur with 9:20. Well, they haven't stopped the clock yet, but there was 9:21 left on the clock. And the fans have already noticed that. That's one of the things they notice first, isn't it?
They get their money's worth here.
We should mic the crowd.
Yeah. Good offensive forechecking by Kirkwood, though. They're really bottling them up.
That's the one thing about the Kirkwood squad. They are not afraid to play the body.
No.
Back break CBC with Hayes. Campbell tries to take him out. A two-man break in front, and that's broken up as the pass really never got through. There's Moran at the red line, dumps it in. Control here by Eckert, but now it's controlled by Moran by CB. There's Campbell, and he takes it, and he goes aerial. Dumps it in behind the CBC net where Rumpf controls. Rumpf with a nifty move. Rumpf moving up ice to the red line, to the Kirkwood blue line into the zone, and it's broken up with a little poke check by the Kirkwood defense. Icing called despite the protests.
Kirkwood just, they're relying on dumping the puck in deep, and they're trying to force a turnover by the CBC cadets here. They're they're one man right on top of the puck every chance they get in the CBC zone. It's not a bad strategy. They're not afraid to hit on the boards. But when CBC comes down to the Kirkwood zone, Kirkwood's wingers are out so high, it's very tough to stay down there with that one-man forecheck.
Remind me about that point. We'll talk about that in just a second when we get a break. Carosello now with a chance. Giannino tries to hold it in and get a shot off, but he ends up dumping it behind the net where Thawley has it. To the left there of Barella. Puck is tied up. Oster in front. Studi can't get it to him as he's too well controlled, corralled behind the net. Here comes CB with Schultes. Schultes for Kirkwood, dumps it back down. And we'll have another chance for icing. And let's get back to that point you just talked about. We mentioned earlier that CBC is lacking the quarterback on their defense in an Adam Brook. And taking nothing away from their current crop of defensemen, but Adam played a lot of hockey last year.
Yeah,
and it may be a question where they're just not used to the added responsibility right now. Not saying that they won't grow into the role or somebody won't emerge. It's just that it's a good strategy on the part of Kirkwood right now to try to force the play.
Right, and CBC's wingers have to come back that deep to help out the young defense.
There's Campbell now. Controlling. Aaron centering pass, and there's a chance for McCafferty, but he got a little too over anxious and didn't get the shot off. Carosello can't hold it in. And here comes Kirkwood. Here comes Neiman. In on goal. He shoots. And he fired it high and wide. Manhandling there in the corner was Carosello as he took out Brian Schultz, and tempers start to flare. I think Campbell took umbrage to the way, I think it was Neiman who got run down there.
Yeah,
his presence felt.
And Nick Carosello came across to put up a strong defense for CBC in that situation. You'll notice that even though Gurl wasn't involved in the play down in the corner, he held up the CBC checker long enough for the defenseman to get to the blue line, hold the puck in, and knock it down into the corner. That's very important. The guys who don't have the puck have to be doing something in a game like this.
There's Jackson now for CB, digging. Now behind the net is Jason Ernst. Oh, big crunch there as Almquist got nailed. Play behind for McCafferty, broken up. Now Almquist tries to break it up. And in a fit of desperation, McCafferty sends it back out. Controlled by Campbell for Kirkwood. Back come the Pioneers, and Jackson with a chance. And he's just offside. Quint tried to stay onside. But his right leg just wasn't long enough that time.
No, it sure wasn't. I'll tell you what, Kirkwood is really starting to put the body on CBC. It's going to be interesting to see if CBC can what they need to do to get Kirkwood out of this is play a skating game. They've got to skate to their potential. And if they do that, that's going to stop Kirkwood from hitting them a lot of times. But right now, the wingers don't have their feet moving. They're nice targets for the Kirkwood players.
Sunbakken taking the draw against Ernst. Here comes Hager. Hager to the blue line, a long shot. Barillo sends that to the corner. Almquist can't get it out. Held in there by Jost, who's on the point now. Jost now, the long shot. Barillo got a rebound and hit the crossbar. As Barella flagged at it, and hit the crossbar. Jost now on the point. Chance in front of the shot. Big save! Oh, what a glove save there by Barella. Picking cherries.
I think Mark Thawley's going to pick up a penalty on this one, Ed, for cross-checking.
Wasn't a cross-check there?
That was a major league one. But, you know, and again, in that situation, you don't know if your goaltender's going to juggle the puck or something's going to happen down deep, and you've got to eliminate the CBC player. It's not a good penalty to take in this situation because, of course, the puck was frozen. But in the event that the puck wasn't frozen, that CBC player would not have had the opportunity to bang it in. Let's see if CBC can get something moving here on the power play. Rick Kennedy usually has a good power play system. And if these guys move the puck with some of that lightning passing out here quickly to break the box, it could be back into a ball game here.
That was Joseph got the shot off, wasn't it? He usually buries those. But Barillo was to the task that time. Face off to Barilla's left. Studi taking the draw for CBC against Ryan Gurl. On the point to Moran. He takes a long shot, screened in front. And Oster tried to get in there and get the stick on it, but Barilla gloves it and holds for a face-off.
Yeah, I think Kirkwood's better off in this situation trying to force scrambles. You know, they're going to challenge the CBC power play because once CBC sets up and they start moving the puck around, they're an awful tough hockey club.
Studi again on the face-off to the left against Ryan Girl. Back on the point to Moran. Shoots it. Barilla the save as he got his foot down on that and kicked it aside. Girl now clears the zone. Controlled by Moran to Caracello. Caracello has Studi with him. Caracello looking to set up the power play, and he's pestered there by Girl. Hauled down, nothing called.
Good aggressive play by Ryan Girl. He challenged him.
That's the definition of a two-way hockey player. Back comes CBC now. Studi. Studi looks to try to make a play, but it's controlled there by Hisrick. Back behind as Caracello gets it. Moran tries to control. Caracello has it behind the Kirkwood net, looking to set up. Over to Studi. Studi now, looking to make a pass. Back to Moran. Moran has it, shoots it at the net. And it was tipped, and Barilla got a piece of it. There's Oster. To Studi. Studi now looks to center it. Picked up there by Giannino with a shot. And that doesn't make it through. And then Hisaric sends it back down the ice. Talor sets it up. 30 seconds remaining in the CBC man advantage. Here comes Caracello to the red line. He's got Ernst with him. Long shot, and Barilla kicks that aside. CBC now. And Caracello's sore. Looks like he may have injured the knee there. He's slow to get off the ice. 7 seconds now remaining in the man advantage. Talor sets it up. Forechecking there by Quint, but back comes CBC. Here comes Matt Jost. Jost now into the Kirkwood zone. Jost with a chance, and it's broken up by Thawley at the last second. And here's a chance now for Herwick, but he's hauled down, nothing called, and the Kirkwood contingent doesn't like that. Breakout now for CBC. Control, and now comes Verde. Jay Verde has got a chance there, but it's too well tied up by Campbell. Can't get a shot off. Here comes Herwick, headmans, and it eludes a couple of sticks for the icing call. 4:01 remaining in the first, 2-0, Kirkwood leads it.
CBC on that power play never really had a chance to make more than 1 or 2 consecutive passes on that. The Kirkwood stayed in a straight box for a long time. You've got to get some movement on the power play, and they've got the personnel that can do it. I think some of these kids are just a little tentative. It's a big game for them tonight. And it's an early game in the season, too, so a lot of these guys are still got the hockey nerves going here.
You think as a player you get to the point where you're undefeated, where you get, you get too tense instead of being too relaxed?
Yeah, and then sometimes you get complacency. You stand around, wait for somebody else to do the job.
Here's a chance now for CB behind the net. Jost has it, looks to center, but it's too well tied up there. Now behind the net, Thawley tries to bat it away with a glove. Now Thawley's got a chance, but it's still not cleared. Still back in the Kirkwood zone. Hisrick having trouble with it, but now Jost has it behind his head. Looks to center, a shot in front. Barilla the save! As he went down, I don't think he saw it, but he got a pad on it. And Scherer's upset with himself. Rod Scherer, a sophomore center, had that chance, was set up beautifully by Jost, but could not beat him.
That's one of those automatic plays that where your high guy in the slot follows you straight across, and you know that you don't even have to look to find him, that he's going to be straight behind you. He threw it out there, got a one-time shot off, and boy, the Kirkwood goalie's really keeping him in here now with a couple of big saves.
I think there was Foresto on that line. Sometimes I can't make out that 19 or the 18, but here's Herrick with a chance.
He's not going to catch it.
And he's not going to catch it as icing's the call.
Not a bad move by Kirkwood. They'll set the CBC defenseman thinking that there's always a play off the face-off, and they'll always be looking to turn around and go back. But CBC certainly had the chances to stay in this hockey game. And they're starting to be more of a physical club down here on the boards. You got to control the boards against Kirkwood. They're a good checking club when you get them close to the outside.
Face off to the left of Barella. Controlled by Campbell. Goes behind his own net. There's Neiman now trying to clear the zone. Girl there, along with Herwig. And here's Girl again. Herwig, long shot. As Girl got that shot off, Delore made the save. Kirkwood with another chance. Girl controls, overskates the puck.
Oh.
And we got a tripping call against Ryan Girl. Kirkwood captain will go to the sin bin for 2.
Yeah, that's kind of a rough penalty to take here, especially since CBC's been putting the pressure on him, Ed. And here you got a situation where you're still about 150 feet from your own net, and you're taking a penalty close to the offensive zone. I don't think that Girl's intention was to trip him by any means. I think he was trying to make a good play on the puck and just got a little carried away. And
it looked like they were both going for the puck at the time.
And sometimes, you know, Ryan Girl's played a lot this game. When you're tired, you have that tendency to lunge, and that's when you start getting into the penalty trouble.
There's Carasello behind his net. Let's see if CBC can move the puck better on this power play. They're a little lax in that department.
There you
last
go.
chance. Here's Carasello now. He'll go behind the net there, go to the corner there to set up. Carasello now. Over to Cox. He's got Giannino back on the point. Giannino can't. Now he holds it in. But Herwig gets it, and he clears the zone. Power play for CBC consisting of Cox, Studi, and Oster, with Carasello and Giannino on the point. A chance there in front as Borello stops it, and he holds on.
That was a breakdown on the Kirkwood defense. They let the CBC guy just kind of chisel the puck through him. And after a while there, if you noticed that CBC did break Kirkwood's box. They had 3 guys trapped on one side, and that's when you want to hit that off guy. He should be on the opposite face-off dot for the good one-time shot, kind of the a la Hull system.
Of course, Girl is a vital part of that penalty-killing unit.
Right, and he's got the long reach, and his reach is going to, just his presence out there will stop people from trying to pass through him.
But he's in the penalty box serving this one. He's got another minute 11 left. Kirkwood leads this one early, 2-0. We're still in the first period. There's Cox behind his net, trying to get it back to Giannino. Tied up, boards to our right. And held for a face-off to the left of Borello with 1:53 here remaining here in the first period.
Yeah, and CBC is starting to really play more aggressively on the boards. They're stacking it up. They're not allowing those Kirkwood players to just lumber through with the puck and try and chop it around them.
Frank, are you surprised that this line's been out here for quite a while now? I'm surprised we haven't seen Matt Jost out there at least on a point or whatever for CBC.
Well, you know, Rick's got confidence in these guys, and they're not doing a bad job. The thing is, they just got to get set up down here. They're shooting the puck so high. You want to keep, especially on the power play, you want to shoot the puck low, keep the puck in motion. They're allowing one shot, and the Kirkwood goaltender's freezing it.
Especially with Burrell, he's got good hands to begin with.
Right, and you want to bury the puck in his feet, so he's got trouble finding it and hopefully get a rebound out there. They're good snipers, and CBC crashes the net very well.
Face off to Barella's left. Here's a chance for Carcelli. He shoots high and over the net. Here's Giannino with a chance, but it's picked up and dumped down by Herwig. Talure sets it up for Carasello. 40 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Here comes Carasello to the red line. Across to Oster. Oster eludes a check. Shoots one, but it's tied up at the last second. Good back checking there by Kirkwood, and here's Herwig. Herwig has got Neiman with him, but he's content just to send it back and leave it for the CBC players. Cross ice to Oster. Oster now. And same move they pulled last time and doesn't get away with it this time. Giannino controls. Giannino to Studi across to Cox. Studi, cross ice. He's got Carasello. Carasello looking for Oster. He gets a chance. Another shot. Barella the save. And they got a foot on that. Kirkwood a little laxing in the puck out of the zone. Long shot there by Giannino, and Barella got a leg on that. Now Campbell has trouble with it behind the net. was Ernst. Long shot from the point, and that's tipped just wide. Here's Campbell, and he decides to, that's enough of this noise. He sends it down the ice with 23 seconds remaining. Kirkwood leads 2-0.
Their CBC shot the puck a couple of times good and low, and then you get those scrambles going in front of the net. And CBC is a good offensive hockey club. They can pick up that loose puck at any time. They didn't allow the Kirkwood goaltender the chance to freeze the puck on this one. It's going to be interesting to see if CBC keeps consistently shooting the puck low. Right there in the middle of the slot, Nick Carousel should have let go a hard low shot. Those high ones aren't going to go in no matter what.
Here's Thawley. He gets run, but the CB player gets the worst of that deal as he falls. There's Girl, the little tip there, trying to send Herwick in. Now he does. Herwick looks to center man in front of the shot. And that was just off the mark as Quint had a chance there. And that's the end of the first period. Kirkwood gets off to a solid start. Leads this game 2-0 after the first. We'll be back after this brief break. Second period action about to begin. Craig, got a recap on the scoring.
Yeah, the first Kirkwood goal was scored by Ryan Girl, assisted by Neiman and Eckert. And then again, Mark Thawley comes in with a nice tip from Jackson to make the score 2-0 Kirkwood. And Kirkwood really applied a lot of pressure, but CBC was coming on strong late. Let's hope they can keep it going.
Face-off controlled by Thawley. Thawley into the Kirkwood zone. He's got Quint with him. Can't get it through. Long shot there with a point. Glove save by Talor. As Jackson gets that shot off. Well, there's a good example of fundamental hockey. Thawley brings the play into the zone, and Jackson was right where he was supposed to be.
And Thawley made a smart play there. He didn't stop when contact was made. He kept driving through the CBC player, driving the play deeper in the corner, and the puck turns over to nice Kirkwood forward following in, picks up a loose puck, gets a shot on goal. A high shot, but a shot on goal.
A shot nonetheless.
Yeah, you got to. I still believe that you got to put the puck low. Let the goaltenders make them play the puck.
Jackson out there for Kirkwood along with Quint and Almquist and Histrick and Thawley on the points. CBC now looking to try to clear the zone. Too well tied up there by Nichols. Now Nichols gets another chance there by Verde. Finally clears the zone. Control there by Moran. There's Jost with a chance, can't do much with it. Now he's got a chance, but it's in offside as Verde was in ahead of the play.
Yeah, the choppier the style of game, the worse it is for CBC out here. When CBC starts playing smooth hockey, it seems that there's a step ahead of Kirkwood as far as offensive talent's concerned. But when, you know, again, but Kirkwood picks it up with the hitting, and they throw CBC off. So it's going to see who breaks down their system first.
Study on the face-off right in front of our camera angle. Play in front. There's Studi with a chance, but Campbell tries to clear it out of danger. Girl now. Girls everywhere. Get used to it, folks. Back on the point to Hager. Bouncing puck. Tipped in front. There's another chance in front.
Bury it. There it is. There it is.
Nice play there by Caracello. He got the rebound and he just fed it right across, and all Oster had to do was put it behind Barilla, who was down low.
Yeah, that was a strong play by Nick Caracello. He uses his body well to box out the Kirkwood player. He throws the puck in low. He threw the puck in low. The Kirkwood goalie had a hard time playing it, and Oster's just standing there. That's just what we were talking about in the first period, picking up those loose goals.
Well, the original shot by Hager was actually tipped by a Kirkwood defender, by a by a Kirkwood defender. And fortunately for Caracello, it ended up right on his stick, and he just sent it right across, and Oster put it away.
Yeah, Kirkwood's going to have to start playing a little bit more dump and run game. I think CBC's starting to pick up a lot of momentum, and they seem fired up on the bench. A lot of guys standing on the CBC bench, they look like they're ready to play hockey.
Cawley now goes across to Girl, who tries to spring Herwick. Herwick down there against Ernst. Back on the point to Campbell, who just sends it in around the boards. Kirkwood looking to center, broken up by Tallure's stick. There's Oster behind the net. Back around, Oster controls again, and he's bumped there by Campbell, and here's Thawley. They call him Ice. Here comes Girl now. Girl looking to center, and he takes a shot anyway, but it's broken up there by Tallure. Nice poke check by the CBC goaltender. Here's Oster now behind his net. Oster now has got a little bit of room to move, especially a little bit by Herwick, but now he breaks out of his own zone. Here comes Oster to the red line. Oster just dumps it in. It's broken up by Campbell, and Campbell gets a chance now to Girl. Cross ice to...
Oh!
Big check there as Neiman is sent flying. Campbell on the backhand sends it back into the CBC zone. This game is getting a little physical as we go along.
I think Neiman was trying to do an Olay and just try and dance the puck around the CBC defender there.
Thawley now retaliates with a nice crunch there on Scherer. Back on the point to McCafferty. McCafferty dumps it in.
That's a hand pass.
Back behind the net for Hayes. Hayes, two boxed up. Hayes gets another chance. Back on the point. McCafferty the shot, and he fires it wide. Looking to center, that's broken up by Thawley. Back on the point to Giannino. Giannino sends it in. Here's Cyber, that's broken up by Campbell, and he sends it down the ice. Back is McCafferty behind his own net. Three Kirkwood forecheckers in on the play. Here's Scherer now. Takes it behind his own net for a screen. Scherer can't clear the zone, but now he gets another chance. But it's broken up there by Kirkwood. Back comes CB. Shot there is wide of the net as Hayes got it off. Centered in front. Chance in front of the shot. They score! Oh, he hit the goal post. Scherer had Barella beaten. He had a stick in the air already.
Oh.
Couple of big chances here for CB. There's Scherer behind the net, working hard. Corralled there by Schultzes. By Hisserick, Eric Hisserick. Scherer again centers it. Over a stick to Giannino, to McCafferty. McCafferty shoots. That goes off Schultzes' ankle, but the whistle.
They're going to blow it down. CBC was in the crease there. They were getting very aggressive. Very aggressive now by CBC.
Boy, Rod Scherer had a heck of a shift.
Holy cow, that's again they're shooting the puck low, and they're dumping everything right at Kirkwood net. Facing some scrambles out here. Let's see if CBC, let's see if this man in the crease does, you know, if it doesn't hurt him any, they can dump that puck back in right now and get back on Kirkwood.
Joe Stearns and Verde now out for CBC.
Oh.
There's a chance now as Quint races after it. But Rump has it. They can't clear the zone. Jackson now. He's shifty. He's got Almquist. Looks to center it. Can't do nothing. Can't do much with that. Campbell now back. Now Jackson tries to get it, but the puck goes up and into the CBC bench. We'll have a face-off in front of Coach Rick Kennedy.
Yeah, CBC right now, just get the puck in Kirkwood's zone and try and get them running around again. Get them scrambling. Again, in these second periods, Ed, you're farther away from your bench when the puck's in your defensive zone. You can tire a club out, make a change, and still hold possession in their zone.
There's Hisarick, sends it back for Rump for CBC. Rump behind his own net, being pestered. Boy, Kirkwood's continually sending in 2, 3, 4 checkers. And if you're not in supreme shape, that's going to tire you out as a team anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, the more physical style Kirkwood gets, they'll try and slow down the CBC players. Right now, CBC they've yet to put any pressure on after that big scoring surge they had earlier this period. Get the puck in there. Let's see if they can get something happening. They'll send a man in, make a good hit, and try and take possession over. Turn this thing into a little bit of a shooting gallery. Get Kirkwood running.
Face off. Puck is controlled in front of us. Matt Jost has it. Now Thawley tries to clear the zone, but he can't. Several players tied up in there as Ernst is punched down, and back comes CBC. It's Ryan Girl, but he can't do much with it. And Jost decides to send it in, sends Verde in, but Campbell will control, and we call that on a offside.
Yeah, Thawley got away with one there through the body of players. Referee didn't catch that hold, but he was holding on to the stick of the CBC player and just spun him to the ice in there, and that forced that poor boy didn't have a chance to get back on sides when they brought the puck back in. And that's smart hockey too. You got to learn to use your body, stay in front of people. You can't just sit there and be a spectator.
Puck is sent to the left, control. Broken up by CBC. There's Carosello, the backhand, going to the near corner. Campbell now looking to clear the zone, but he can't. Still trouble clearing. There's Hager with a long shot. Glove saved by Borelli. Gets a piece of it, but he can't trap it. Here's Carosello with a chance, but it's picked and controlled by Neiman. Matt Neiman clears it, but not out. And now Girl gets it, and he clears it. Here comes Girl, and he's got Thawley along with Neiman. Chance here for Kirkwood. In on goal. Shot. He scores!
Oh, those long arms, Ed.
Ryan Girl.
Oh.
What a nice rush that was. Steve even had 3 players back, and Girl still beat him.
Oh, when you got the reach like that, you can start tucking some pucks away. And, of course, a key there, too, is Girl's going down the outside. Thawley's going down the middle. Thawley's making that CBC defenseman stay in between them. The CBC defender doesn't have the reach to knock the puck off a Girl's stick, and Girl just out-muscles him and tucks her in.
From a goaltender's point of view, it's tough playing against a guy with a reach like that.
Holy cow.
Because it really messes up your angles.
Oh, yeah. When he's got that much reach, he can almost stand in front of the net and twirl it around. Thawley again. But again, you'll notice that Thawley's up on the play. They're making the CBC defenseman back up. They're making them turn. And they've got the reach with guys like Girl and Thawley. They have the reach when they can control the puck that CBC just can't get it off their stick.
Boy, oh boy, for every step forward CBC makes, Kirkwood's got an answer. They're back up by 2, 3-1 with 8 minutes remaining here in the second. Girl now tries to clear the zone, and he gets it past Moran. Girl aggressive on it's Herwig aggressive on the forecheck. There's Carosello with a bouncing puck. Dangerous play, almost pays for it. Here's Neiman for Kirkwood. He's got Herwig with him on a 2-on-1. To Herwig. Herwig shoots when he fires that wide. Hisarick holds it in for Kirkwood.
Good play.
And gets aggressive.
And he's going to draw a penalty on him.
Call him an elbow.
Good hockey play right there. That young man came from about, in between his blue line and center ice to hold that puck in. Good head of steam, and he draws them into a penalty.
I thought originally he may have been calling his search for the elbow, but that was a clean hit.
Yeah.
He got Carasello on the penalty on the retaliation.
Yeah, that's a good heads-up hockey play. And again, that's where confidence comes in. Kirkwood has the confidence to charge in and hold the puck at the blue line, and they do it with force. It's not a token effort on their part. They come in and they try and drive the puck deep into the corner. I'll tell you what, the tide and the momentum can change here right now. And Kirkwood, I think, is going to have Thawley up front. Is that Mark Thawley playing up front?
Yeah, Thawley up front on the power play, and they've moved Herwig back on a point, but Herwig has always played defense and forward in his career with the Pioneers.
Oh, there's a high stick. That's going to hurt him here on a face-off, Ed. Not a smart play there. That's going to hurt.
That's going to go all the way back down.
No, that's going to ticks off some time off the clock, and also it puts you about 180 feet from the other team's goal. You know, you got to be disciplined enough to say, hey, look, I can't get the puck, and start skating back forward.
This is hockey. This isn't basketball.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting to see Mark Thawley up front now. I'm wondering if they may be using him too much here. Of course, he's got the wheels, and if he ever again plays up to his potential, he's going to be a dynamite player in this
Well,
league.
he played a lot last year, too.
Yeah.
So it's not where he's a stranger to the extra ice time.
No, he's a strong young man.
Here's Girl now. Goes cross ice, picks up Herwig, but that's just a shag offside.
Good idea by Kirkwood. They moved that puck 80 feet from one side to the other. Try and catch CBC, you know, playing the strong side of the ice, and get some way where they can walk it in and set it up for the power play. Of course, Girl's out there now, and let's see if Thawley still stays.
Take a look at the Kirkwood coaches, Greg Griffin, Tom Kramer. Kramer working primarily with the defensive core. And Griffin trying to get this power play going. They'd like a bit of a pad to this lead, which is probably the reason why they've got Thawley up there on the point. Yeah. There's Thawley with a chance. The man we just talked about centers it, but Jost controls it. And it's sent back down the ice. Barilla behind his net for Campbell. Campbell now to the red line. Ian Campbell now. He's got Neiman with him, but he can't dump it off. But that's Hager, who's being a pest. Girl's back on the point. Long, lazy flip pass is controlled by Herwig. Herwig now.
He's got room.
Back in the zone. He's got some room. Here's Herwig now. Wrist shot. Tillera got a pad on it. Now Girl is held. No call across to Neiman. And Neiman can't get a quality shot off. There's Hager. Benigno now takes it on the backhand and clears the zone. 30 seconds remaining. In the Kirkwood man advantage. Long pass up to Thawley. He can't control it, and that's icing called against the Kirkwood Pioneers.
They still have 23 seconds here on the penalty to Nick Carasello. That's still plenty of time to get some offense going here.
Rick Kennedy's got to be concerned at this point. Really, the game really hasn't opened up yet. For CBC, they've had a couple of spurts here and there, but he really hasn't gotten to the flow that he would like to get into as a coach.
No, I think Rick would like to see him move the puck quicker. CBC's got one guy carrying the puck, and it seems like they get 2 or 3 guys that stand around. They got to go to open spots, make something happen, and move the puck. They're a good offensive team when they handle the puck.
Here's Herwig now. 5:40 remaining in the period. 15 seconds remaining on the power play. Herwig. Now that's broken up by Oster. Little bumping there between Oster and Campbell. Herwig circling. Teams are even now at 5 aside. Here's Campbell, dumps it in. Controlled by Rumpf, and Rumpf goes up looking for Carasello. Herwig with a rolling puck. Sends it through. Moran now uses the boards, can't clear it out.
There's
That's
the man
Girl
alone.
with Neiman in front. And Neiman couldn't convert on the pass as he had a good chance there. Here's Girl to the right of the CBC goal. Thawley again up on the forward line. Thawley, they're using the strength there to get a shot off for Girl, but Girl didn't have much of an angle. Herwig holds it in. Here's Girl looking for the hat trick. Girl centers it. But Thawley was already taken out of the play nicely. I think that was Moran who took him out. Back comes Caracello. But that's broken up by Herwick. Play is offside now as Caracello touches again on the dump back in. 3-1, 4:33 remaining here in the second period.
I think
Kirkwood leads it.
they're going to call it intentional offsides, too. Nick Caracello made no attempt to get out of the zone, just kind of touched the puck. And I think, you know, that's in point. There he is. He's tired again. And those are kind of tire mistakes.
How can he be tired? He just got out of the penalty box.
Well,
He got a rest.
But he takes the big guys a little bit longer to catch their wind, I guess. I don't know, Ed.
We're clutching at straws now, aren't we?
Oh, yeah. We're throwing it around.
Strong in front of the zone. Backhand shot by Jackson, and it's sticked aside there by Talor. Quint with a chance, but he can't do much with it. Back comes Hayes.
That's a penalty on CBC. They got him for holding.
Andio's going to go for a hold. What?
I don't think CBC was too happy with that call. And, of course, they can't afford to be. They've got to get some offense going.
No, you can't get any kind of continuity or any flow with a skating attack if you're always killing off the penalty and you're always on the defense.
That's right. And where's your team down? He's got to counter it with some fairly talented offensive players, too, who can bump that puck out of their own zone.
Thawley once again on the forward line. Mitchell centering with Quinn. Haven't seen much of Mitchell tonight for Kirkwood. But Clint's out there. Campbell and Herwick on the back line on this power play.
Three big kids.
Yeah, here's Moran. I think you're going to see their game plan to try to clog up the middle and work a screen. Maybe use Thawley as the trigger man. Here's Quint to the red line. Quint just content to dump it in. Funny bounce off the backboards. Now there's Quint with a chance. But that's turned back around by Ernest. Herwick, little stick action, and they're arguing that CBC player touched it, and that will be the ruling. Face-off will be inside the zone in front of CBC goaltender Mike Talor.
Yeah, CBC's got to stay in the box here. Let's see what's going to happen. Kirkwood will try and hold the puck in. Campbell going to come wide. Campbell comes a little bit wider, a little bit wider.
Campbell and Hurd were main, but Quinn and now Girl up front. Girl gives him a little more puck handling ability.
Good play by the CBC cadet there to push that defenseman back, get the puck over the line, and if it goes back in, it's not going to hurt you. And it was a good call by the linesman.
Face off now just outside the blue line as Quint tries to take it. Girl controls, drops it back to Herwick, who sends it high. Play controlled by
Oh, you
CBC,
can't
and he
do
did it
that.
again.
They're not
Herwick.
going to call that.
Well, maybe they're ruling that Ernst touched it first.
Oh, Merry Christmas, Kirkwood.
Got a break there, bad break there as Herwick gave it away. Great chance there for Verde on a hustling play.
Oh, he's
Now
going to get that
Girl
one.
Is going to go. CB's lucky that Verde didn't get called on that too.
Yeah, Verdi came into the corner. He wanted to take somebody. He just wasn't sure which one and went right between the two.
I think with Verde, it was a situation where he may have been a little upset that he didn't converge on that giveaway he had right to the left of Barilla.
That's true. And now we get the spirited cheers going on here. What a festive day, Ed.
And of course, we hope everybody is listening to this as they're devouring their Christmas dinner.
A little confusion over here.
Oh, we're going to get double minors.
Holy cow.
Who did he call?
He's got me here.
We've got the referee mic, but he's not talking. Face off here.
Apparently, maybe they're going for a double minor on one.
Will be to the right of Barilla.
Well, we've got all kinds of holiday confusion over here.
And as a public service announcement, you really need another glass of wine right now? Think about it.
Oh. Well, now things are kind of cleared up.
This is Regional Access and Public Do-Goodness Day, isn't it?
That's right.
Merry Christmas.
I'm going to go home with 6 of my best friends. They're all named Bud.
Hey, Bud. Studi now. Caracello, a long shot for the point. Barilla makes easy work of that. Here's Neiman now. And we're 4 aside.
Here comes
Caracello now. Wheels to the red line. Nick Caracello got a chance to have the shot. Glove save by Barilla as he stretches wide to make that glove save. Barilla's been tough when called on. Now Caracello another chance. That's fired well wide. Hager holds it in. There's Thawley with a little move to get around a forechecker. Now Mark Thawley controls. Controlled by Kirkwood and dumped down by
That's going to be the
Eckert.
ice.
And there'll be icing call. 2:29 remaining. We're still in the second period. And Kirkwood leads this one 3-1.
Boy, Kirkwood gave Nick Caracello a lot of room to operate with that puck. They were backing up into their own zone when Nick was just halfway between the blue line and center ice. And if they keep doing that, they're going to get hurt. If CBC gets that one big puck carrier in motion, Caracello, Oster, Matt Jost, one of those guys control the puck and move it in there with some authority, and Kirkwood backs in, they're going to start shooting the puck.
CBC will have a power play in 9 seconds. They want to get another tally here to bring this score to 3-2. Here's Thawley. That play's broken up by Studi. Studi with a chance across the zone. Oh, big save by Barilla. Oh, that's the best save of the night.
I think Herwick got that.
No, Barilla got it. I saw Barilla get the toe on it.
That's a goalie talking, Ed.
Yeah, well, we don't get enough credit as it is. CBC now on the power play.
You better lay off the wine.
There's Caracello. Coming to the red line, Caracello dumps it in behind the net. Back in the skates. Now Jackson has it for Kirkwood. Jackson content to clear the boards. There's Herwick now. Hager dumps it back in for CB. Historic now behind his net.
Oh.
Took Herwick. Herwick now dumps it right back down. 22 seconds remaining now in the CBC power play. CB needs to get something going here. Here comes Jost. Jost into the Kirkwood zone. Corralled there by Historic, and now here's a chance there for Neiman. Neiman in a foot race with Caracello. Here's Neiman, lone man on the Kirkwood attack, and he's manhandled there. Little David and Goliath syndrome. Here comes Jost, long shot. Toe saved by Barilla. Trying to clear now, but controlled by CB. Broken up,
That's it.
and here comes Girl in a foot race with Rump, and Rump beats him back there. Good effort on the part of both players. Back comes CB now trying to clear. Neiman has it. Goes near boards. Neiman trying to send Herwick in. Herwick's going to beat Rump. See Kirkwood. Teams are even now. Behind the net. That's Hayes. Back comes CB. Looking for Jost. But Historic will control. Historic being bothered there by Verde. There's Ryan Girl now trying to clear the zone. Now Historic tries, but he can't clear. Good work there by Giannino. And now controlled by Jost. Goes cross ice. There's Neiman trying to get his body into it. Giannino headmans to Verde. Verde, long shot. Blocker save by Barilla.
And that ends the period, Ed.
And that's time. Barilla comes up big a couple times in that period, or we could have a tie game here, Craig.
Very good hockey there late in the period.
Some great action here so far. Kirkwood leads this game 3-1 going into the third period. We'll be back. We will be back.
I told you about that wine, Ed.
Final period of this game, and the question that lingers here is, does CBC have enough to pull this one out of the fire? Right now, the Kirkwood Pioneers are threatening the CBC Cadets' undefeated mark. Final 14 minutes of this game. I am going to have to lay off on that wine.
Yeah. You better watch those mirror shots or whatever you're having there. Evian. Evian my eye. I was trying to hold out for a bar stool up here, something I was comfortable on.
Maybe the day will come where we'll have helmet cam for the officials. Anyone interested in seeing helmet cam should write to Jack Gamble, care of this network. I told you I'd get you in trouble, Jack. Face off. I want to see it. We get a goalie cam too. Face off just outside the Kirkwood blue line. 8 seconds have ticked off the clock so far. Carosello now trying to clear it through. Back comes Herwick. Herwick has got a step now on Moran, but Moran does a nice job of riding him out of the play. Then they exchange pleasantries. There's Neiman now looking to center, but it has the puck roll off his stick. Campbell can't hold it in, but Herwick is back, and he flips it up in the air, knocked down by Studi. Studi looks to center, but Hisserick picks it off, and the puck is back into the Kirkwood zone as Moran controls. Moran can't do much with it, controlled by Neiman. There's a chance now for Girl to shut it.
Oh!
Ryan Girl, and if he gets credit for this, he's got the trick.
Once again, Girl gets it off quick.
Yeah, they're going to give it to Girl. I believe it acted like it bounced off a CBC defender, Craig.
Yeah, but Girl, the initial to shot, and I think that's just as well. Give the goal to Girl. He's the one that made the play happen.
Girl gets it. That's the hat trick.
Now we got a hill to climb for the CBC Cadets. They've got to start forcing play.
There's big goal there. And see on the replay that indeed it did bounce off of a CBC defender. But Girl gets credit. He got the shot off quick. This is what you have to do. Back comes CBC. Ernst now with a chance, but Thawley's there to answer. There's Verde, aggressive. Back to Thawley. He's got it in his skates, but he can control. Mark Thawley, near board.
Ooh.
And he's crunched there by a CBC forechecker. Giannino wants a shot. Ernst now trying to get a shot off. Aggressive play there is going to result in a penalty. And I think Almquist is the one who's going to get called for this one. And indeed he is. Junior defenseman Todd Almquist. Well, Craig, you got to think Kirkwood keeps giving CBC these chances. They're going to have to capitalize.
Yeah, they keep loosening the noose here every chance they get. They're giving them that Christmas advantage here. But CBC's not able to take advantage of it. They've only had that one really good scoring opportunity, that big flurry where they racked off about 4 or 5 shots. This is where they need to settle down and get one here.
Just on a front line with Ernst and can't make another Verde. Verde's had a good night tonight. He's been an aggressive force for the Cadets.
Good play by Campbell on that last face-off. He held up CBC, gave Thawley time to get the puck and just throw it all the way down.
Here's CBC now.
They're not even opposing them. They're letting them come out the center.
Giannino to the red line, to Verde, who just dumps it in. Thawley being manhandled there by Giannino. Now Ernst with the puck in the corner. Ernst now, spinorama. Looking for Verde, but it's broken up by Thawley as Thawley comes out of nowhere and heads it up to Quint. And Quint will just dump it in to the left of Talora. 11:47 remaining. Here comes Hager. Hager now to Jost. Matt Jost to Verde. Verde now into his zone to the top of the dot. Looks to center it, but it's
There's
struck. There's a chance in front and a stick in front. Deflects that wide. Girl fans on it. Thawley makes sure, but he can't clear the zone. Now a chance. Girl sends Herwick. Herwick in a foot race along with Giannino. Herwick now directs it toward the net. Talora covers up.
A little extracurricular is going to put Herwick on his front side down here. Kirkwood upset. They think Herwick got hit on the arm with that one. He's obviously in some pain, Ed.
Kirkwood complaining he was high stick. That's Campbell.
They're going to ask the linesman on this one.
We take a brief break here. We'll be right back after this timeout. Apparently, Herwick, we still don't know what happened on the injury. We think it may have been a hand or something like that. He was grasping. But the referee believed that it was just a hand, that the stick was involved. Nevertheless, face off to the left of Talora. Carosello looking to make something happen, but Campbell dumps it back in. There's Hager.
There you go. Come on now.
Looking up for Carosello. Here's a good break. Nice little breakout move here by CB. Carosello going wide, but Hessereth with a nice play to take Carosello wide, which is what you have to do with him. There's a chance here by Neiman on the forecheck. Good work there. Girl tries to bull through, but he can't. Now Moran up to Oster. Looking for Studi, but that's broken up by Hisrich. And controlled now by CBC. Here's Carosello again. We are even. And CBC has yet to capitalize on the power play. Here comes Oster. Dumps it behind the Kirkwood net. There's Hisrich. Tries to use the boards, but can't clear it past Moran. But now Herwick controls, and back comes Kirkwood. Herwick to the red line. 3-on-3, it's broken up. Here's Gurl with a chance. Can't do much with it, but controlled by Studi. But Hisrich with a move. Hisrich. Couple nice moves. Hisrich in with a good chance. A shot into Laura, the save. Controlled there by Campbell, and the puck comes back into the play. And they have to blow the whistle.
Good play by Nick Carousel. When you're following your back check back and you're unsure where the puck is and the man's breaking towards the net, sometimes you'll get the penalty by trying to hold the man back to impede him from traveling the net. Not a bad move. Every once in a while, when you stop holding him and start pushing him, put him into the net, force a face-off in there. And again, they were letting the play go until Kirkwood had an opportunity to score. The net was off. It's an automatic whistle and the face-off deep in CBC's end.
Face-off now to the left of Toulour. 9 minutes, 40 seconds left in this game, and CBC's untarnished record is certainly in jeopardy right now. On the point now, Foley the shot, and that's tipped just wide. Here's Campbell holding it in. Campbell looking to center, but Scherer breaks it up, but he can't corral the pass. Foley dumps it back in. To the left of Toulour, here's McCafferty in his first game back. We haven't seen much of him recently, but he's been steady when he's been out there. Here comes Scherer, looking to get it past Campbell, but he can't. Now Almquist loses his stick. Scherer now looking to try to center it. Tied up there by Foley. Yeah, Steve Kirkwood really wants a whistle now. They have two defensemen without sticks. Now here's a chance for Jackson. Jackson loses it in his skates and then lets up on it. Here's Hayes with a chance for CB. Foley gets it. Back to Giannino for CB. Campbell leaves it for Thawley. Thawley problems in his own zone, but he's able to clear the zone. Here's Forrestal. Forrestal dumps it behind the net. Baroa stops it for Campbell. Campbell now to his own blue line. Campbell leading the rush. Headman's up to Holmquist. Big check there by McCafferty. Borderline elbow. And Holmquist takes exception to it. They're discussing what they got for Christmas. Play held up there by Toulour as he sets it up. Back comes CBC. Cross ice. Broken up by Herwig, and he's upended. No call.
That man got a chainsaw.
Giannino got the stick in there a little bit too far. Kirkwood contingent wasn't happy, but play goes on. The long shot there, Toulour knocks that effort by Eckert aside. Back to Thawley. Cranks it. Long shot, Toulour, glove save. And he holds on. 7:40 remaining. Kirkwood leads this one 4-1. And Craig, we've just had a chance to see Toulour play a few times in the past. It just seems he's just not as aggressive as he has been in the past. That last play was an example of it. He wasn't as aggressive. He wasn't out challenging Thawley like I've seen him in the past.
Well, he lost his stick there. Kirkwood got cut through the net, lost his stick. He's using a defenseman's stick, and he just stayed back deep in the pipe. I think, again, CBC is not trying to spread the game out and really force it down here on Kirkwood. They're allowing Kirkwood to dump the puck in and try and check CBC down.
Well, with Mike's size, he needs to challenge. He needs to challenge, and there'd be no net left. He's
a
big kid.
Yeah.
And like this picture we have right now, there isn't much there.
No.
Face off to Toulour's left. Herwick wins the draw. Back behind the net. Here's Jost looking to try to clear the zone, but it's held in there by Sundbakken. A couple of big hits there. Here's a chance now for CB, but that's broken up by Hisarich. And back comes Thawley. Thawley now one-on-one. Thawley on a goalie shoots. Oh, Thawley with a rocket as he beats Toulour top shelf.
That's what we were talking about earlier. When he wants to light it up, that kid can light it up. He's flat out. If he ever played to his ability and talent all the time, consistently in and out every day, you're looking at a possible Division I hockey player. Unbelievable.
Hisarich should get the assist, 24.
Unbelievable move. And there you see, With that long reach, you see him dangle the puck in and out. And he gets that CBC defenseman kind of off balance, uses the reach and everything, gets around, gets the big shot off.
Well, he did it that top twine, too. That was a pretty goal.
I've been sitting here waiting all night for him to make a big rush. And they finally got it. That must be my present today.
And you take a look at what happened on that play. Foley and Hisrich, the defense, were both up on the play.
Oh, yeah.
But conversely, their forwards were back. They're covering up for him.
Mark does that same thing in junior. Him and Craig Steckler, both of them up on the play at all times.
Here's Oster now, trying to find a man, but he can't. It's controlled by Hisrich. But now Wayant now. 5-1 for Kirkwood. Campbell now gets rocked. Back comes Oster. Centers it, but he can't get it through to Carousel. Another chance by Wayant in front, but that's blocked by Girl before it has a chance to get to the net. Girl now and Herwick. They can be a handful. Cross ice to Campbell. Now Campbell has it, and he'll take it on the backhand and dump it in. Herwick brings it in. He was offside, so he had to retreat. Here comes Giannino. Excuse me, this is Oster. Oster's met there with a pop by Herwick. Herwick starts throwing his weight around. Girl with a golf swing. Looks like your swing out there, Craig.
Maybe I'll get a new wedge this year, Ed. I don't know. But I'll tell you what. Kirkwood, all the Kirkwood players right now standing CBC up at the blue line. They're going to make them dump the puck. They're not going to let them carry it across with possession. I think Tommy Kramer's talking to his defense now about standing them up on the blue line. Let's see, if CBC's going to score here, they're going to have to force one right down on them. They're not going to give up the gamble pass or anything else. If they do, I think Tommy Kramer's going to be very upset.
This is the kind of game that, especially a team like Kirkwood, they just want to shut you down, and they've got the types of players who can just shut you down. Chance there for Giannino at the point, tries to break it up, and Jackson gets it, and they're content just to clear it outside the zone and eat up some time. 5-1 Kirkwood leads. Here's McCafferty behind his own net. Almquist breaks it up. Trouble there in front, and Tallur holds on as Jackson is being a pest. And he had a nice forechecking opportunity there, but Tallur grabs it and holds for the face-off to his left with 5:42 remaining. Kirkwood leads this one 5-1.
Mark Thawley back on the ice again for Kirkwood. And I believe that's Campbell out there with him. They got two of the big boys back on the blue line here. It's been an exciting game. There's been spurts and good spurts of good offensive moves, especially by Girl, Thawley. And they got Ronnie Oster can handle the puck. Nick Carousel, but they're not giving them the room.
Here's Campbell. Screen shot. Save Tallur. And the rebound goes off to the side. Tallur was Johnny on the spot that time. Here comes Scherer. Cross ice to Verade. Verade pulls up, looks to center, got his hand in front, but that's broken up by the Kirkwood D. Control now by Hayes, goes cross ice to Rumpf. Rumpf looks to find a man, but he's pestered there by Sundbakken. So Rumpf tries to find Scherer, but is controlled by Campbell behind his own net. Looking for Thawley. Held in by Hayes. Centered in front all alone. Rebound shot. Barilla the save. And he holds it. A couple of chances in front there. And was that Scherer again?
I think so. And it looked like Kirkwood just deserted their goaltender on that move. Hopefully they won't get too offensive-minded here because CBC can get back in this game. You're looking at a 5-1 score, Ed, but you're only looking 4 shots out of it, and they're going to get 4 shots before the end of this game. It just depends on what type of shots Kirkwood's going to allow CBC to take.
Girl back out for the... Play behind the net as Thawley controls. He's being pestered there by Oster. Bump there. Hertwig looks to clear it out, but he can't. Rumpf can't hold it in. Now here's a chance for Neiman. Neiman's got Girl with him. Neiman headmans the Girl, backhand shot.
Oh, that's
Saved
that
by
size.
Tallur. And Girl still with a Herculean effort just to get a shot off. He's had a game tonight. Behind the net now. Control by Herwick. Herwick goes Airborne, he picks up Neiman. Neiman with a chance. Neiman, hit on goal, shoot, he scores!
Oh! Just a hustle move. Just
Matt
hustle.
Neiman. I couldn't tell. Looked like he beat him short side.
Oh, man.
And again, Toulour wasn't as aggressive as I think he could be.
Yeah, he didn't come out hardly at all on that one. Neiman had such a bad angle, too. That puts a new twist into the game, Ed.
4:15 remaining, 6-1. Kirkwood leads.
Kirkwood doesn't look like they have the offensive talent that they had last year, but they're still playing sound hockey. They're moving to the puck and they're beating CBC to the puck. And the key to the game is who gets to the puck first and who controls the puck. And Kirkwood's certainly handling it most of the time tonight.
Face off back to center. Here's Ernst with a chance. That's broken up at the defense of the blue line. And Kirkwood scanning CB up at the blue line well tonight. Almquist has a chance, but he can't do much. Here comes Ernst. Ernst into the Kirkwood zone. He's got a man looking to center, but it's broken up by Campbell. Campbell, Thawley, and the rest of the Kirkwood defense have been steady tonight. Here comes Verde, but Hager decides to take control. Hager looks for Ernst, but Ernst circles instead of stops. Cross ice. Here's Quint in front. Quint now with a chance looking to center. Can't find anybody, but the net is knocked off of its standards.
That was another good play by CBC. They drove another Kirkwood player through the net. And whenever you drive a guy through the net, that's going to get you the face-off.
Ernst and Quint have a few words.
A little sociable talk.
Once again discussing what each other got for Christmas. Breaking in that new Easton aluminum shaft tonight.
Bending it up.
Face off now to the left of Toulour. 6-1, 3:36 remaining in the game.
Here's Herwick and Neiman again. They've been working hard tonight.
Back to Hisrich. Hisrich, the shot, and that hits Ernst. Ernst now looks up to Jost. And here's McCafferty. That's knocked down by Girl, but it's knocked down with a high stick.
I think Kirkwood's going to have to go their next practice and try and work on putting their glove up and knocking down a few pucks instead of putting the sticks up in the air. Every time you do that, you force a face-off deep in your zone. That's the second time tonight, and perhaps they should have got that third one.
Yeah, that was the one where we weren't sure. I think the referee may have ruled at that time that it was touched by the Kirkwood or the CBC player.
Yeah, I'd like to see that helmet cam there, see what he was really looking at on that move.
I don't think the referees want to go for this helmet cam.
Oh, Tommy Kramer takes a bad shot.
Assistant coach Tom Kramer displaying those cat-like reflexes.
He's got to be happy.
And those are some nice-looking pants Tom's wearing tonight. He's in a leisure mode.
Yeah, his package was wrapped tight there.
Face off in front of the Kirkwood bench. Here's Herwick. Sends it down the ice. To the left of Toulour, controlled by CB. Eckert now tries to gain control. Back on the point, Campbell, and he has trouble with it. Cox can't clear it out. And smart move there on the part of Kirkwood, letting the puck go through. Now a chance for Herwick. He's in, he shoots, and he shoots that off the side of the net. Didn't have much of an angle, but we did see Toulour move a little more that time. Back comes CBC. Cross ice looking for Studi.
It's just not working now for CBC. Everything's getting
They're really
off.
flustered. Here's Hager now in his own end. I think CB is now in the situation where they're trying to make 4 or 5 passes before they make the first one.
Yeah, and Kirkwood's just happy dumping it out.
Cross ice there. CB picks up Cox. Cox can't do much with it, and he's harassed there by Campbell. Puck is back outside the zone, controlled by McCafferty, who dumps it in. But now Hisrich controls. Hisrich looks to cross ice.
Oh, they got him
Campbell.
changing.
I don't know who he was looking for, but
He should have been looking for somebody because he had everybody from CBC at the bench.
He had a lot of white facing him. Back comes Hayes as Shearer can't find him. Hayes behind the net. Hayes looking to center, but it's broken up there by Neiman. Now a chance for CBC. There's Hayes back on the point to McCafferty, rolling shot. And Barilla takes it against the body and holds for the faceoff.
Yeah, not much offense mounted in the third period by CBC so far today. They've been laying off. They're tentative, and a lot of their shots that they have had been very high. And again, you're not going to beat this goaltender shooting the puck 3 and 4 feet off the ice.
Given the chances, Barilla's been tough tonight. He's really done a number on stoning the CBC club. CV with a chance now behind the net, looking to center. Is Verade shot in front? Oh, and he fired it wide. I think that was Verade who had a chance in front. He put the backhand wide of the net, and here comes Herwick behind the defense, and on goalie shoots. Tarlour, a big save as they got the blocker out on that. That's what Tallure's got to do. He came out and he challenged Herwick. Here comes Shearer to the red line. He's bumped down. Penalty called on Kirkwood. Here's Verade. Looks to center, but he can't do anything with it. It's broken up by Talluore. And there will be a penalty called on the Kirkwood Pioneers with 55 seconds remaining. This one is in the bag as Kirkwood leads it 6-1.
Yeah, this one's pretty much over now, Ed. CBC has to have some pride, though. They got to be playing here strong on this. 55 seconds going for the goal here. Kennedy's going to put out Caracello, too. And Nick's going to play, I do believe, on the point here. He's got a good shot, but he has problems hitting the net. Nick can hit the net consistently, then you're going to get that rebound situation.
Face off to left of Barilla. Back on the point to Caracello. Back to Caracello again. He gets a shot off, but that's blocked by the defense. And cleared back down by Eckert. Talluore sets it up for McCafferty. McCafferty for Hayes on the rush. Hayes beats him in, and on goal he shoots. Barilla the save as he got the blocker up on that. And they keep going high on Barilla, and he keeps turning him aside. Caracello with a chance, shoots one, fluttering puck, controlled by Eckert. Sends it back behind the net. Here's Campbell now looking to clear the zone, and he does. Campbell's got a chance now.
Oh, what a move.
2-on-1, two great moves. Ian Campbell shoots, and a toe save by Talluore. I think Campbell's just worn out by the time he did all that work.
Yeah, the chunky soup kind of lost his energy.
There goes Ernst the shot, and he fires that about 6 feet wide. Caracello tries to hold in when he can. Kirkwood side counts this one down. And the Kirkwood Pioneers put the dent into CBC's formidable armor tonight, dealing the CBC Cadets their first loss. CB stands 9-1, but Kirkwood Pioneers now jump to 7-1-1.
Good hockey action tonight, Ed. A good game. And it was a good game all the way till about midway through the third period. Once Kirkwood got a couple more goal breathing room out there, then the contest was pretty well over. But both teams didn't let up. They kept playing hard all the way to the end. And you saw that by the rush of Campbell right at the end of the game.
Both teams out here congratulating each other. As we said, a fine effort on both clubs' parts. This is the kind of game you like to see. This is the kind of game that gets people pumped as far as high school hockey is concerned.
Yeah, the players out tonight were really moving. And again, it wasn't a case. Again, you're going to have times in the game where there's lapses. But this game tonight, there was few lapses. The game we did the other week, there was a lot of times when play kind of drug along. Tonight, there'd be moments of it, and all of a sudden play would just pick up at a good, intense level.
Well, Craig, we've seen a few teams so far this year, but I don't think it's beyond the realm of possibility to say that I think these two may be seeing each other in the playoffs.
Yeah, and again, I hope so, because it will make for a good playoff, a good series. And anything can happen in hockey. That's the fun part about the game. One bad bounce of the puck, one bad penalty call, You know, the puck hits off your own man, anything can happen. And so I still think this high school season is pretty well up for grabs. You got to look at Kirkwood as the defending champs being a favorite, and you got to look at CBC, who's always strong. But then you got some of your sleepers in there. Some of those Parkway schools can really turn on too.
Okay, the final here tonight. Kirkwood Pioneers defeat the CBC Cadets 6-1. We're going to take a brief timeout here, and we'll be back with a post-game guest after this brief break.